We have taken over 400 or 500 pictures of the fakers in India, and whenever hypnosis is used, the camera doesn't get it all. We have had 2 or 3 very remarkable instances among those hundreds of pictures taken. On one occasion we were returning to our home in India, and when we arrived there was a man standing just inside the gate. He had placed an orange seed in the ground, put his little mantilla over it, and it was coming up. He removed the mantilla, and the orange tree came right on up, and in 45 minutes, apparently, there was a tree there, the branches, the buds, the flowers, the leaves, and then the ripe oranges. We were taking pictures of that. There were 12 cameras in the group, and we ourselves were so deceived at that time that we stepped up and attempted to pick oranges off the tree, and the tree wasn't there. One of the men developed 2 of those films, and I kept the young faker in conversation until they returned with the 2 films. I unrolled one before him and said, "How come? You fooled us, but you didn't fool the box." He was quite perturbed over it and said, "Tomorrow you come, I show you." It was agreed we would meet on the following day at 11 o'clock. The next day we were all on hand at the appointed hour, and we had exchanged cameras. On this occasion, the young faker brought with him a man whom none of us had ever met before. He came forward willingly, put the seed in the ground. Our group was taking pictures all the while. The tree came up in identically the same way. We all saw it. This time we wouldn't attempt to go up and try to pick oranges off the tree. We had been so badly deceived the day before. Finally, the chief said to us, "Well, what's the use? If it isn't there, then let's find it out." He walked up and picked an orange off the tree and ate it, and each one of us did likewise. That tree is still bearing oranges on our place in India. Here's what happened. The young faker was the chela of the old guru. When we explained to the guru what had happened the day before, he became quite irritated and dismissed the chela and refused to have anything more to do with him. He told us that they carry their chelas through all of the 12 methods of hypnotic influence to show them that there is no existence there, that nothing is accomplished there. But if we will let go of them all and be this, then everything we do comes forward. It comes under the art or law of suggestion, and we have studied it in India. For example, we see a man come out with a rope in his hand. A small group who are curious gather around him, and he throws the rope up in the air, apparently, and then calls a boy out of the group to climb the rope. Maybe the boy disappears at the top of the rope, and that is all that is necessary. The man collects a few coins, enough to give him a living for a few days. Now we have taken pictures in 500 instances of these exhibits, and the camera gets nothing on the film but the man standing there before the group. There is your power of suggestion. It is brought out so definitely that you stand there and believe it. The old guru is working with us today over in India. We take a seed, plant it in the ground, irrigate it, the soil mechanically, and in 7 minutes we have a stalk of corn with 2 ears fully developed. This old guru, when he puts a seed of corn in the ground, before he raises up, the plant stands before him. He has no mechanical devices at all, he just knows. Now there is the best evidence in the world that we ourselves are perfectly capable of this accomplishment. It belongs to everybody. If anyone ever accomplishes those things, then all have the privilege. No one is selected. Each has the ability within himself. There is nothing complicated. In fact, it is very simple, and we need no lessons. It is merely bringing one to the point where he sees or is aware of the advantage of accepting those things and then giving thanks that they are. This power is present and works in everything, in our daily living, even in the money that we use. There is no need of anyone being in want. There is no want, in fact. We simply fail in our expression, and we call it lack. Now, let us go let us let go of another fail. There is no failure. Many of our medical students today are saying that in the future, man will live 100 years longer than he does today. Age is simply a state of consciousness, and when man learns to let go of old age, he will go on and on. A year makes no difference in our thought structure until we say that 1 year has passed. Then we immediately qualify it with 1 year older, whereas if we would think of it as a year of greater accomplishment and achievement, a year of greater illumination and understanding, it would be just that. The greatest thing that we can do is to see the divinity in every face, in every form. Our greatest privilege is to see the Christ in every face, and that means the unlimited power to know God within. We can go back to all of those things and prove them today. We don't ask you to take them on hearsay. You can prove it for yourself by letting go of old age, of limitation, and all negative thoughts, refusing to use them or accept them in your world. We know historically that about 3,000 years ago, one language that was spoken did not have a negative word in it, and that language goes back for over 200,000 years. Question and answer. Question: does the word God spoken silently have as much power as the word spoken audibly? Answer: there is just as much power. In fact, to many people it is more powerful to think God within than to speak it. Question: how can we set in motion this great power within for self-expression? Answer: simply by knowing that that power is yours. You are the supreme power. You are the supreme wisdom. And the moment that you accept that, you set the energy free, which shows you that you are free from any limitation whatsoever. Question: will there be great destruction on this planet before there is universal peace? Answer: the destruction is what we put on ourselves, the thoughts that we put out. Now, supposing we all refuse to use the word destruction, would there be any? Not at all. Question: what holds back the knowledge of the great masters from readily spreading throughout the world? Answer: it is our own fault. Nothing else can hold us back. The moment we accept and know that we are as they are and always have been, why, it will never be held back at all. Nobody can hold it back from us but ourselves. Question: is hypnosis trespassing the law of subjugating a man's will? Answer: hypnotism has been generally conceded to be a very detrimental thing to use on the human form or human brain. I want to give you a little experiment here. You can stand with your arms straight out to either side and have someone do this muscle testing, it's called, by trying to pull your arm down with you resisting them pulling your arm down. And then, once again, do it, but this time say over and over aloud, I can hardly hold my arm up. I can hardly, over and over say, I can hardly hold my arm up, or I cannot hold my arm up. And then let that same person try to pull your arm down, and it goes down real easy. My daughter did this with me, and I was like shocked, like, wow. I was saying I can't hardly hold my arm up, but my mind was trying to think that, oh, I'm going to hold it strong. But my words were a little stronger, and she pulled my arm down real easy. Anyway, that could be tested that way. That muscle testing could be done with I am God or I am not God, to see if your arm is strong or weak. And if anyone wants to do that experiment and let me know what they get, I would imagine when you say I am God, you have a strong arm, but when you say I am not God, your arm will go weak again, like mine did when I said I can hardly hold my arm up. Anyway, this is a little exercise, and the next chapter I will come with the next session, or the next video, and it's called Is There a God? It's chapter 3. Now, talk to you then. Bye-bye.